The fourth and the final test in the Border Gavaskar trophy ended in a draw. The pitch at the Narendra Modi Cricket Stadium proved out to be a really good one for the batting even on the fifth day of the test. India tried their hearts out, but simply there wasn't any turn or uneven bounce in the wicket to aid their bowlers. So the match ended in a draw. However, India still won the Border Gavaskar trophy 2-1. Now India has the record of beating Australia on four consecutive series, both home and abroad. Two of those series were in Australia and two have been in India. So India's recent dominance over Australia has been quite impressive. Virat Kohli was adjudged the player of the match for his incredible 186 with the bat. And Ravindra, Jadeja along with Ravichandran, Ashwin were adjudged player of the series, joint player of the series for their incredible bowling display. For Jadeja, he took 22 wickets and scored 135 runs. And Ravichandran Ashwin took 25 wickets, the most wickets for a bowler this series in the Border Gavaskar trophy. With this result, in India were declared winners and they also had a chance of qualifying in the World Test Championship finals. However, there was another match going on in Christchurch between Sri Lanka and New Zealand, which had major implications on whether India would be playing the World Test Championship final or not. And there lies the beauty of Test cricket. It went right to the last ball. Kane Williamson showed once again why he is one of the most dangerous batsmen the world has ever seen, and probably New Zealand's best ever batsman. Just a few days back, Kane scored a decisive century against England, and his team managed to win the Test match by one run and square the series. Kane Williamson was again batting on the fifth day, with his team requiring 257 to win of 50 overs in the last day. Play was initially hampered due to rain, and so Williamson took the charge upon himself. He probably didn't think that he would win the match, but the intent was definitely there. Sri Lanka bowled well. They took wickets regularly, but it was a partnership between Daryl Mitchell and Kane Williamson that took the game away from the Sri Lankans. Sri Lanka needed to draw or win to keep their chances alive in the World Test Championship finals. Any other result meant that India would qualify. And as the day was progressing, there was more interest in the Sri Lanka versus New Zealand Test match than the one going on in Narendra Modi Cricket Stadium, because everyone knew that was heading for a draw. Daryl Mitchell scored a quick-fire 81 of 86 deliveries, and that proved to be the turning point of the match. Kane Williamson needed someone who could bat alongside him, and Daryl Mitchell just proved to be that man. New Zealand were cruising at one point of time, needing about 60 odd runs with 7 wickets in hand. Sri Lanka also missed the golden opportunity to dismiss Williamson on 49 when Dickwella missed a very difficult catch of Lahiru Kumara. That was probably the moment that Sri Lanka lost the match and also their chance to book a place in the World Test Championship final. With 60 runs and 7 wickets in hand, it seemed like New Zealand would win in a scanter. But then again, Test cricket is the best cricket. Sri Lanka took the wickets of Mitchell, and then came Tom Blundell, who was dismissed by a beauty from Ajitha Fernando, and both Michael Bracewell and Matt Henry followed soon. But Kane Williamson was still there, batting on 100, and as long as he was there on the pitch, chances of a New Zealand victory was quite high. It came right down to the wire, requiring 5 runs. New Zealand requiring 5 runs of 3 balls, and Kane hits a boundary. Neil Wagner came into the bat with a bulging disc. He was injured, but he still came into bat. It just shows the sheer resolve of a champion player. And last night, Shreyas Iyer refused to come into bat to aid Virat Kohli to get to a double hundred. But here you have Wagner, who had a torn hamstring, who had a bulging disc, and yet he still comes to bat. And not only that, he runs the final run that results in the New Zealand victory. With New Zealand's victory, India qualifies into the World Test Championship final against Australia. For the first time in the history of Test cricket, India will be playing back-to-back World Test Championship finals. No other team has done it. And India will be playing Australia. The first final between India and Australia in almost 2 decades, the last one being in the World Cup in 2003, which Australia won. The result will be very much different from the one that we see in India, pure dominance. It will be played in England at the Oval on June 7th. Now, the Oval is known to be a good batting track. It also turns in day 3 and 4. But India would not get the same amount of spin that they have been getting in these friendly wickets at home. Plus, India wouldn't get the time to acclimatize in the conditions in England. They would be playing IPL, and right after the IPL, they'll be heading off to England. Many of the Australian players will also be playing in the IPL. The time span for getting readjusted in the foreign conditions is extremely limited. However, one thing is for sure. Whenever India and Australia play, the contest is extremely good. There is a healthy competition between bat and ball, and Stephen Smith and company would surely try their level best to win the World Test Championship final. So will the likes of Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. Let me know in the comment section what you feel. Who will win the World Test Championship final? And if you like the content, please like and subscribe to the channel.